Hi, my name is Julie Findley, and I'd like to thank the Port Aransas Parks and Rec Department for allowing me to come talk to you today about gardening. Now, gardening is a great activity for the whole family, or even if you just want to work by yourself. It gets some good exercise as well as being out in the fresh air. If you want to grow vegetables, then you know you'll have the best organic produce around. And if you decide to grow flowers, then that's great too because it helps our pollinators, our birds, and our bees. So some people feel like they don't have enough space in their yard for gardening, but you can garden in containers, and that way it takes up less space and it also is portable. I have a small backyard, but it's in the shade much of the day, and so with my containers I can move them where they get the best amount of sunshine. Some of the materials you'll need for gardening are a good pair of gloves to keep whenever you work in the soil, a trowel to move your soil with, and of course soil, and as well as some containers. Now, don't be too picky about the soil. You can get garden soil, you can use potting soil, or even just dig up some soil from your backyard. If you don't want to leave the island, you can go to Ace Hardware, and they do have soil there as well as seeds to plant with. So I'd like to show you my garden, and first of all I'll show you my in-the-ground garden, and you can see I've grown a few vegetables, and I've got a few herbs, some dill and some oregano, as well as a lot of flowers. I like to plant wildflowers all around my garden because it does bring in the pollinators, and it's very good for the garden as well as for the ecosystem. Now on my containers, I have a large container with my Swiss chard. I have several pots for herbs such as my dill and some mint, as well as pots for my tomatoes. So what I'd like to do now is show you how to put things in pots. So what I have here is a small heirloom Mexican midget tomato. It was grown from a seed and given to me by my good friend Rita. So what we'll do is, first of all, when I use a pot, I like to put a few rocks or broken pottery in the base, and that's for drainage. Next, I'll put a layer of sand, also for drainage, and I just dig that up from a bare spot in my yard. This way, with containers, you do have to water more often because they evaporate faster. However, you don't want the roots to be sitting in water. If they get too soggy, the plant will die. After the sand, then I mix in some compost soil, which I have from my compost pile, and that's really good because it's high in organic matter, which gives it some fertilizing, plus it has a good water retention. And I mix that in with some potting soil or some garden soil that I bought. When you put in the plant, you need to dig a little hole in the center. Now this one particular plant is in a little peat pot, so I don't have to take it out of the pot. I'll just tear the sides a little bit and set it down in there to help it break down faster. Place your plant in the middle and make sure that the level of the top of the soil around your plant is even with the level of the dirt in your pot. Now once I've set it in, I pat the soil around it, and then I'll put in a layer of mulch around the top, and then I'll water it in well. I'll put it in partial sun for the first day or two to let it acclimate, and after that I can bring it out into full sun because tomatoes really like 6 to 8 hours of sun a day. So as you can see, I have different kinds of pots, and a lot of them I just scrounged up from the house or the garage, or you can get them from friends. You don't have to do anything fancy. Mine is definitely not fancy, but I have some peppers, I have herbs, I have greens, and I have tomatoes, so I'm really happy with what I have, and I hope you enjoy it too. So thank you for watching me today. Happy gardening, and I want to thank my friend Isaiah Frizzell for filming today.